Howdy everyone, and welcome back to another weekend episode of Cooking with Mary Sue. Before we begin, you'll find links down below to my other channels. I have a resale channel that's Susie Q Knickknacks, where I showcase items that I buy at thrift stores and resell on eBay. There's a link to my eBay channel down there below, or eBay store, and there's a link to Brother Claude Reflects, my husband's channel. And also, I'd like to remind everybody about my new children's book here I had published a few months ago with Children's Faith Publishing Company. It's available on Amazon, eBay, Barnes & Noble, and now iTunes. They finally got finished with the ebook. So if you like to prefer ebook over a regular book, they have it available. But for me, myself, I just like holding the book in my hand and looking at the pictures when I read it to somebody. Okay, now we begin. Today we're going to make a quiche. You know from my past videos, I love breakfast foods. All the time, anytime. And in the past, I have made a breakfast pie where I had a crust on the bottom and the top. But this time, we're making a quiche. The difference between a quiche and a pie is a quiche has no top on it. It's an open-faced pie. And some of you might have heard of quiche Lorraine and quiche. I'm not making quiche Lorraine. The difference is, well, quiche Lorraine got its name many years ago from a region in France called Lorraine. And if you make quiche Lorraine, you have to use bacon and French ingredients like French cheeses, Swiss, Gruyere, some other cheeses I'll name below if you want to make a quiche Lorraine, and you might use some German ingredients in it. But today I'm going to use beef sausage. I'm not using French cheese, I'm using a Mexican blend of cheese. I'll show you here. Mexican style blend. It has shredded Monterey Jack, mild cheddar, queso, and asadero cheeses. So it's going to be just a little bit spicy, but not much. Eggs. I'm going to throw in some diced orange bell pepper. I had this left over from a few weeks ago where I made that crunch wrap, and I used red, yellow, orange peppers in it. And I have green too, but I didn't want to put green in this. Green's kind of bitter tasting. I wanted a little bit sweeter taste. I just thought the orange would look pretty in there with all the other colors. And I've got some freeze-dried chives because I don't have any real chives on hand, so I'm using the dried. A few tablespoons of this will do fine. And heavy cream. Okay, first we start with the shell, which you don't really have to. You can make quiche a crustless quiche. It's where you throw all the greens together, put them in your pie pan with no crust, and bake it. And it will still come out nice and firm. You can slice it just like a pie. It just won't have a crust on it. But I like crust. I like to have any excuse to eat a crust. Anytime. Okay. Now, should you pre-bake this? Yes, you should. In fact, most of the time you should probably pre-bake a pie shell before you use it. Because in most pies, your filling's already done or pre-cooked, and it doesn't take as long for the filling to cook as it does for the pie to cook. So if you pre-cook it, that ensures that your crust is going to be done when you slice into it. If you ever slice into a pie where the bottom is gummy and gooey and white looking and it's soggy from the filling soaking through it, that's because your crust didn't get done enough. You need to pre-bake it. Now take this, I'm using kind of pre-rolled. You can make your own, or use the pre-roll like I do. I just roll it out. I'm going to stick it in my little pie pan here. Push it down the edges. I will crimp it in a few seconds. So as I get it all settled in there, I'm going to use a fork around it to try to crimp it. I'm still practicing on my crimping. It tastes good either way, whether it's crimped or not, but it looks nice crimped. Okay, I'm going to make a few little holes on the bottom. That's to let the steam go through, and so it doesn't, when you pre-bake it, you don't want the bottom of the crust to swell up and get bubbles in it. So you put a few holes in it to prevent that, and we're going to put pie weights on it when you pre-bake it. This is parchment paper. I'm going to line it with parchment paper. I crinkle it, yeah. I crinkle it ahead of time so that it goes in the bottom better and doesn't try to fly out. Kind of hang it over. Okay. I'm going to use, I got a bunch of pie weights here. These are little beads, kind of look like candy or marbles or little bitty tiny round things. You can use all these, you can use pie weights, or if you don't have these on hand, you can use just a pound of dry beans and work just as good. There. Now, that's going to weigh that down so it doesn't swell up and get bubbles in it when it's cooking. I'm going to put this in the oven on about 350 for 20-25 minutes. When the edges look brown here on the edges, I'll take it out. I will take off the parchment paper, take out the pie weights, put it back in for another 20 minutes to let the center get brown. And then I'll let it cool for about 10 minutes before I put my filling in. See, all this filling's already, everything's pre-done except the eggs. The eggs don't cook very long in the oven. They'll be done in about 30 minutes. And your crust takes longer than that to get done. So I'll put this in the oven now. And we'll be back in a few seconds. Hello there. Well, we now have our pre-baked shell here. It's golden brown. It's a light golden brown. I don't want to get it too dark because it's going to cook another 30 minutes in the oven, maybe 40. So it's just light golden brown. See, it moves around, it doesn't stick. I cooled it under a fan a little faster. Now we're ready to put our filling together and dump it in there and bake it again. Like I said, I'm using 6 eggs. I've got 3/4 cup of heavy cream here. Okay. I'm going to add 6 eggs to that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get that one out of there. 4, 5, 6. There. Alright. We're going to whisk that together. Get started here a little bit. Yeah. It's going good. I got some more pie shells I'm going to cook in a little bit. I had 2 boxes of pie shell in my fridge I need to go ahead and use up because they're getting closer to the expiration date. That's why I decided to make quiche today. Like I said, a lot of my recipes just come to my head depending on what I have in my pantry I need to use, what I have on hand. You just kind of go with what you got. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to this. Probably about 1/4 of a teaspoon of each. For flavor. You could add other seasoning to this, like if you wanted to, you could add Italian seasoning or some chili powder. You could add some spinach to this even. I love spinach quiche, it's one of my favorites. But my husband's not too crazy about spinach, so I won't add spinach today. Not in this one. Maybe later. Okay, those are ready. Okay. Now, the next thing we'll do here, clean my counter a second there. I don't like a messy counter. I'm through with that bowl. I've got my pound of beef sausage all crumbled up here. I'm going to layer it all on the bottom here. Get in there. Don't miss the pan. Okay, there it goes. That was just enough filling. That was just perfect there for that. See there? That fills it up just nice all the way around. I'm going to put half my cheese right here on it. That's my Mexican blend of cheese. I will scramble in. Yeah, I'm going to put my bell peppers and my egg here for a minute, throw them around before I put them in there. You can lay on top here or do it like this, either way. I'd rather mix my veggies into my egg mix so they get really soaked before I put them on top of the meat and cheese. Okay. Put that over there. Get me a spoon here I might need. I'm going to pour this all over this, all around. I said you can put just about any type of veggie you want in the quiche that you like. You might want to put mushrooms, carrots, spinach, onion, bell pepper. And you can make it without meat too. Have just a veggie quiche if you want to, just egg and veggie. Alright. Now I'm going to add the rest of the cheese on top here. So you have a bite of cheese down on top, all on top, and in the middle. This will melt all over through here, just nice. I think you can put any flavored cheese you like on there. I like extra sharp, and I like Mexican flavor. You might want to put some mozzarella, Gouda. I like smoked Gouda. That's a nice cheese. And I'm going to put a little bit of this sprinkle around on top. This is my chives here. You can add this either. Let me try the bigger hole. You can add these to the egg mix, or I'm just going to add them on top because I think they look nice up there just for decoration, and they taste good up there when you bite into it. There. Now, we are ready to put this in the oven for about 30 more minutes, 30 to 40. And when it comes out, you need to let your quiche sit for about 10 to 20 minutes, let it cool down before you slice it. There. We'll be right back while I clean up this mess. Well, hello everybody, we're back. It's out of the oven. I'll let it cook for about 40 minutes. Then I'll let it cool for at least 10. You should let it cool anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes before you slice it. Let it get nice and firm. Let me see. Now the test of time. We're going to slice it a little bit. My crust got a little uneven looking, more over here than here, which I don't mind because that's a good part you pull off and eat. Yes, it's firm. Ooh, smells great too. Oh, it looks good. I'm going to eat a big piece later tonight for supper. Okay, that's it for this week. I want to remind everybody about my book over here again that just came out a few months ago. You can find it on Amazon, eBay, Barnes & Noble, and iTunes. Next week, I'll give you a little hint. I'm going to make some strawberry cream cheese mini pies. I want to get a chance to use my new little pie pans that I got from Pioneer Woman. Found them on sale. And I need to use up the rest of my, I got a few more pie shells to use. And that's all for this week. It's a wrap. God bless everyone. Hope everybody has a nice weekend. And don't forget, say a little prayer to my friends that are very sick, Peggy and Kathy. Bye, everybody.